Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third party review. In this video I'm taking a look at the latest offering from those guys over at Yes Model. This is their RF-01 data clerk. You may recognize him. This is basically a high-end knockoff of the Make Toys Cupola. They've finished the majority of their seekers. They're still going to be working on the likes of the Hotlink, etc. But now they're moving on to the Headmasters, and they've chosen to take the Make Toys route. Quick look around the box. The box itself is a little bit lackluster. It's made of a cheapish cardboard, and the print isn't overly fantastic. This is actually a pre-production. The guys over at TF Direct managed to secure this, but it is pretty much there. It's pretty much exactly what you're going to get for the final piece. Taking a look at the back of the box, we've got images of him in his bot and vehicle mode. We've got your standard warnings, and we've got how to contact Yes Model and their joint partner, Robot Fantasy. And here we have him outside of his plastic prison. He's good. He's really good, but he's not perfect. There are some very slight differences between him and his Make Toys counterparts. The first one that I encountered was the guns. The guns are exceptionally stiff, and when you get them out, the grooves here, they won't slide down into those hands like they should. Taking a close look at the hands, you can see we've got this beaded line down the centre, and that's stopping the gun from sliding down inside the groove. Now, the line is present on the Make Toys version, but it's just not as prominent as it is here. I mean, it's just too big. It needs to be sanded down slightly just to get the guns to slide in as they should. It's only on this hand. This gun is in. It seems to be in okay. It's just this hand I'm struggling with. I mean, it goes in, but it just doesn't want to stay in straight. But to be completely honest, I had these two out, and I've really struggled to remember which one was which. It's very slightly different. I had to go back and watch my own video of Cupola. The eyes are slightly bigger on Cupola than they are on the data clerk, and the red is slightly more vibrant, as is the white on the chest. These are slightly more pastel in appearance, but that's pretty much it. They look and feel pretty much identical. Yes Model have done an amazing job at recreating the magic that Make Toys delivered. Now, taking a closer look at their Headmasters, as you can see, the Make Toys one does have better face sculpt on him. In fact, he actually has a face that sculpted that on there quite nicely, whereas the Yes Model, it's more, I don't know if it's the paint application's just too thick. They seem to have lost all of the detailing there. It's very minor. I mean, look at the size of the head. They are absolutely tiny, but it seems to be pretty consistent throughout the whole of the figure, not just the Headmasters. It's just the detailing just isn't quite as crisp as we had with the original. I don't know if that's something to do with them taking the mold or reverse engineering it. I don't know. The lines aren't as prominent, and the colours, they're just not quite as vibrant as what we got with Make Toys. Now, articulation is pretty much identical. We can tilt the head backwards. We've got full rotation there. The head itself has the ability to move the forehead up and down, just to give him a little bit of expression, almost like a frown on there as well. The eyes are quite vibrant, but again, they are slightly smaller on this guy. We can adjust his little ear antennae to have them come out to the side. Coming down to the shoulders, they can come outwards and inwards on a friction joint. We've got a friction joint going all the way around. This joint is secured in here, but we do get a nice butterfly motion going on there as well. We get an upper bicep rotation. We get a 90-degree bend at the elbow. We get rotation on the wrist, and the fingers are all fixed on this peg. But we do get some tilt to the hand. It tilts upwards, it's part of the transformation, but it's a tilt nonetheless. We have rotation on the waist there. There's no abdominal crunch. The hip skirts are fixed, so they will hinder the legs somewhat. They come forward on a ratchet, back on a ratchet, out to the side just. We get upper thigh ratchet there. We get a nice deep bend at the knee with a nice die cast knee joint. Coming down to the feet, you can go backwards and forwards, and we can tilt out to the side. And now the feet don't feel as loose on the Yes model as what they did on my Make Toys figure. I had a real job posing Cupola, and for some reason the Yes model one does seem to pull that off slightly better. I don't know if they've used the upgraded joints that were available from Make Toys. I don't know, but it seems to work. So we've got nice tight joints there and incredible balance. I really am enjoying this guy. I forgot how much I loved these Season 4 Headmasters. They're great figures, aren't they? And they look fantastic with the rest of your collection. Now I really hope Yes model does do the rest of the Make Toys Headmasters. Rumour has it they're already working on a version of Contact Shot, which is kind of crazy, but I really want their hardhead because I missed out on the Make Toys hardhead and he looked so good. Right, Data Clerk weighs 381 grams. That's 13 ounces. And Cupola weighs 386 grams. That's 13 ounces. It's always good to weigh the figures just to make sure they're not skimping out on the plastic. I mean, they're pretty much identical in weight as well, so that implies to me that the plastic consistencies are pretty much the same as well. Now, to get your Data Clerk transformed up, it's identical to the Make Toys transformation, hence the fact they bootlegged the Make Toys instructions as well. Right, now to get him transformed up, we want to take the head off! Take the head off, come around to the feet, come to the back panel, just pull this section outwards, flip this section up like so, and this is going to sit in this groove here. These wheel sections are going to drop back, and this is all going to tab in together. We've got a tab here and a tab there, and this is going to tab onto there. So let's collapse that one first, and then line these sections up. You've got a groove on the inside of the foot here. That's going to line up and tab in securely like so, and then this is going to come in and peg in nicely on there. The toe section is just going to drop down, and with these legs straight, you've got a tab here and a slot there. You're going to bring these legs together. They're going to tab in at the knee joints as well, and they are going to peg in securely at both points, clicking into place. Come to these tire sections, you want to drop that back. The shoulder tab section just comes undone and lifts up. Bring the shoulder straight and straighten out those arms, and then come under here and just bring this section down from underneath the chest. Bring the chest down. I do love this little reveal section here that we have in robot mode. It's not spot on. I'd have liked something to actually happen there physically, but it's nice nonetheless. It's a nice little nod to those original toys, isn't it? Anyway, I'm digressing. Bring the crotch section down like so. Lift his backpack section up and bring these sections out to the side and tabbing them from this back section. And these two sections here are on a metal hinge. You want to just bring this hinge down and ratchet that down into place. Do that on both sides. Come around to this back section here. You've got this hinge here. That's going to rotate around. This section has come out here. You're going to bring this section forward. You've got these holes here and these tabs here. You're going to bring those up, and they, if I move the windscreen, are going to come and they're going to tab in nicely. Come around to the arms and compress them upwards. Grab the fist and rotate it 90 degrees and then bring it upwards, and come to the top section and bring that section down as well. And lifting this fist up to that angle allows us to fully compress that arm, filling the gap. Then bring these arm sections around and they are going to just fill this void at the back section. Now using this large die-cast section here, we can now bring this up and over, and there's this large tab section here is going to slot inside this groove here. So bring this up all the way down, and that's going to slot in. We've got tabs here and here which are going to line up, and then this section here is going to sit inside these leg sections here. So we can just drop this down inside. The top of the shoulders now become bucket seats and just sit square inside like so. You need to make sure your engine blocks are at this angle like so, and coming to the underside. Yeah, these blocks here, which are the fists, you want to make sure that they're pretty square, and bring this retaining tab down, and that's going to line up nicely and just plug in, securing this section here in place. And if we bring this section back up and over, this should tab in nicely there, and there. Come to the back of the bonnet, and as you can see here, it's on sliders. You want to slide this section out and slide this section out so they're fully extended. Come around to the underside, and this section here is going to be brought up, and that's going to tab in to the front of the vehicle. Bring these sections here forwards. Make sure the wheels are brought all the way around and covering up this groove section here. We can now bring the bonnet section down, and that's going to tab in on both these lip sections here. Securing firmly into place. Tab the front grille section in to these tabs at the front and compress those in. And then just make sure everything is tabbed in as securely as possible. We're looking at something like this on the underside. We've got your little bucket seats on the inside. There's some nice detailing on there. And if we actually look, we've got a nice little steering wheel sections on either side as well. We can bring in our headmaster, extend his legs, and then bend them at the knee, and he can come in and he could just sit down inside like so, and he can go for a drive. We lift this section up, bring the lid section down, and we can just click that into place, bring this section back over, and this section here you can either have it down or you can bring it up to the back like so, and that allows us to mount our guns on the top of the vehicle by moving this section back, revealing the smaller tabs, and they're just going to tab straight into the top. And here we have him fully transformed up into his vehicle mode. Rolls wonderfully as well. We do still have rubber tyres. It's a very nice homage to the original toy. Make Toys done a fantastic job with the original design, and the Yes model done a brilliant job of bootlegging it, to put it bluntly. Things aren't quite perfect. It doesn't quite push in to the very tips of the bonnet there. It may just be something I've done slightly wrong with lining it all up, but I mean, it definitely looks and feels the part. I love how solid these are in their vehicle modes, just like the G1 toy. And here he is alongside his Make Toys brethren. They are so difficult to tell the difference between the two. There is a slight difference in shade on the cream as well, but it is so subtle, it's incredibly difficult to notice. And I actually found, albeit this front grille section is a bit of a pain on the S model variant, the Make Toys version was actually a little bit more difficult to get to hold into place. The joints just didn't quite want to go where I wanted them to. Highly recommend this figure. If you missed out on the Make Toys version, this is definitely a very viable option for yourselves. Thanks again to the team at TF Direct for making this review possible. If you suddenly start seeing Make Toys couplers appear on eBay, and they're pretty darn cheap, but chances are they're going to be this guy. I can just see people trying to pass one off as the other. Unfortunately, that is the nature of the beast. Some of the fandom aren't as honest as we would like them to be. On my scale of 0 to MPP10, this guy rates in at a very high 7, possibly an 8. He's made exceptionally well. Yes Model continue to impress me with their figures. I really do hope they continue with this Headmaster series. Who knows, maybe they'll give us a knockoff of the Fans Toys Weird Wolf as well. That'll be interesting. I do feel for Make Toys though. It always seems to be their products that get bootlegged. Not really sure why that is. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, like, share, and of course subscribe. Until next time, from myself and the RF-01 Data Clerk, thanks for watching.